Ask any traditional Italian family and they'll tell you that ricotta cookies are a staple in holiday and wedding celebrations. Luckily, you don't have to wait for those occasions to make these moist, cakey cookies slathered in decadent frosting. I've put a twist on a traditional ricotta cookie that will make your family and friends beg you for the recipe. So grab a cup of hot cocoa. It's time to bake some magic in Mrs. Kringle's kitchen. To the 4 cups of flour, you want to add your 2 teaspoons of baking soda and the ½ teaspoon of fine sea salt. Give those ingredients a stir to combine thoroughly and set the bowl aside. To a mixing bowl, add the 1 cup of softened butter, 2 cups of sugar, and cream together until pale yellow. Add the 15 ounces of drained ricotta cheese to the bowl. Then add 2½ teaspoons of the vanilla extract and the zest of half an orange. Stir the ingredients until well combined. Add the 2 eggs to the batter and mix well. Add half of the flour mixture and combine slowly. Add the rest of the flour and mix until a sticky dough forms. Scrape your beater and cover the bowl with plastic wrap and put in the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours, but up to 2 days. I refrigerated this dough for 2 hours. When the dough is chilled, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. It's time to scoop. Scoop the dough into even dough balls by scraping the dough against the side of the bowl as you scoop. Drop each dough ball on a lined cookie sheet about 2 inches apart. Bake for about 15 minutes so the bottom is barely golden. Move to a wire rack to cool completely. While they're cooling, it's time to make the frosting. It might be a good time to try one, for quality control purposes. The original recipe called for 4 cups of powdered sugar, which is what I'm using here, but I would cut it back to 3 cups because I ended up having way too much left over, and that was after generously frosting every cookie. Add 2 tablespoons of fresh orange juice. Start with a 1/4 cup of milk and stir the ingredients. Continue adding milk as needed until you get a thick consistency that is almost too thick to spread. Then add your 1½ teaspoons of vanilla to thin it out. It won't be a thin icing, but it should be spreadable, but not so thin that it'll drip off the sides of the cookie. Add 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and mix until combined. This will produce a lightly spiced icing. Adjust the spices to your liking or sub out pumpkin pie spice for the cinnamon. If you need to thin the icing at all, this is your last chance to perfect it. Take a cookie and put a generous dollop of icing on top and spread almost to the edge. The icing will ooze a little as it hardens slightly on top. Oh yeah, babe. This batch got boxed up and sent off to my favorite family of proud Italians, and I'm happy to say that they give them an enthusiastic thumbs up. The light orange flavor and spiced icing are perfect to welcome the autumn baking season. There are easy variations as well, like subbing lemon zest and juice for the orange in this recipe, or even lime for a fun flavor in the spring. If you like this recipe, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to get more home-baked goodies delivered to you from Mrs. Kringle's Kitchen.